All right, guys, time now for some live Cowboys Q&A. Use hashtag Cowboys down there in the comments section. Got almost 800 people watching right now. Use hashtag Cowboys. That is how producer Alicia will find them. Or if you guys do a super chat like Jordan Thomas did here. He says, watching training camp highlights, and it looks like Connor Williams is getting constantly beat by Antoine Woods. Should we worry, or is Woods that good? A, I wouldn't panic about training camp highlights. B, Antoine Woods actually is pretty good. Remember last year how he beat up Travis Frederick a bunch? Yes, Frederick had the nerve issue and the GBRA stuff, but I'm not going to panic. It's also, guys, it is July, and Williams did win his one-on-one battle earlier this week with Daniel Ross in terms of like the camp drill. So don't panic yet is my main point there. You can react to it, but we're like 3 days in. Let's not freak out. All right, Patrick Kelly, shouldn't the Cowboys get Zeke slightly cheaper due to signing 2 years early and he hasn't been on his best behavior? Just seems giving him $15 million a year isn't team-friendly. Yes, in a bubble. If you sign a contract extension early, you should take less money. The problem is here that Todd Gurley did that and still got almost $14 to $15 million per year. So the market was set at a new high point. That's kind of why Dallas wants to reset it and kind of redo the market for backs. Now, team-friendly and best behavior? Yes, 2 very good points on that one. He has not been on his best behavior, and it's most certainly not a team-friendly contract. Ronald, as I merged his first name and last name there. Anything new on Gregory? At this point, no. We'll update you once we do. He did submit his application for reinstatement, but you know how the NFL is about that, you know? They're going to take their time and do it in kind of a weird way. So stay tuned on that one, Ronald, but as of right now, no, nothing new on Randy. All right, JVS Cuz, what is Zeke's trade value to you? Good question. That's one I kind of waffle back and forth on. You got to really start with a first-round pick, you know? It's probably a first-round pick, a running back, and another pick or player or something of value. Now, the problem is that's the Cowboys, and what I think the trade value is, I honestly don't know if a team wants to give up a player, a premium pick, and pay Zeke $15 million a year. There's a good chance that to the Cowboys, Zeke's value is higher than it is to any other team. All right, Benjamin, tell us, how do you feel about Sean Lee on special teams? I'm worried about the injury history. Reasonable to be worried. I totally get where you're coming from, Ben. But also, your starting Sam linebacker has to play special teams. Like, you can't have a linebacker who only plays like 25 to 20 snaps a game on defense only with no special teams. So that's kind of a big deal for me. So you need Sean Lee, be it as the punt protector, as one of the prizes, what would probably actually be his role there. He wants to be on the field. You gotta get him out there. You can't be paying whatever $4.5 million, whatever the actual number is. I can't remember off the top of my head here, and have him play a couple of snaps each game. That's just bad roster construction, despite his incredible leadership. All right, Matthew James, what player is most likely in for a breakout season? I will go with Xavier Woods. I got pretty high expectations this year for Xavier Woods. I think of all the players, he makes the most sense as a breakout option. All right, TKG, do you think Zeke will play week 1? I do. If not, do you see Alfred Morris or a rookie being the running back? If he's not for whatever reason in week 1, A, I am now panicking. B, it's either they add somebody else, or it's a rotation of Alfred Morris and Tony Pollard. You will see Tony Pollard in week 1. I don't think he's going to be a full-time back, but you'll see him involved at least, even if Zeke is back. Def Promise asked about the Cowboys' best defensive backs. Okay, I'll rate them here. Byron, number 1. I'm going to be optimistic and say Xavier Woods, Awuzie. I still go Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, and then Jeff Heath as your starters there. Those are, I think, your top defensive backs for the Cowboys. There are other options in there. Iloka hasn't done anything yet, though, for me to actually warrant him going in there. Kevon Frazier is a special teams guy. Donovan Wilson is a rookie, and Michael Jackson's a rookie. So that's the order I go with there. Taco Cat 27. If Witten plays well, and we do well this season, will the Cowboys release him or keep him for another year? Well, Witten will be a free agent after this year. He's only got 1 year on his contract. So in terms of bringing him back, it's possible. I think the bigger part of that is, A, does Witten want to keep playing What does the money look like? And also, how does Blake Jarwin look? So there are a lot of other factors here for Jason Witten. I think it's way too early to play that game. Come check in with me here in like the end of the year or even in November, and I'll have a better feel for it at that point. Now, question for you guys is, do you want some preseason game watch parties? Do you want to watch the preseason games with us here at Chat Sports? Let us know in the comment section. Obviously, we did, at least if you've been subscribed for a while, we did the regular season games last year. Do you want some preseason games? Metal says yes. Stevie Mack says yes. Noah says yes. I see mostly yeses in here, so stay tuned. Week 1 of the preseason against the Niners, that's coming up. Hint, hint. Matt Lewis, do you think Witten is comeback player of the year? Jason Witten isn't even the best candidate for comeback player of the year on his own team. That's Travis Frederick. Frederick should be player of the year if he plays like the way the Cowboys expect him to play this season. Brokov, do you think Dak would take $31 million a year if it was fully guaranteed? I think in terms of fully guaranteed, you're in about the right price tag range. I don't know if he'd want a little bit more, but if it was let's say a 4-year, $31 million fully guaranteed deal, I think that's about the right range for it. I don't know if he would, but he would definitely strongly consider it. Molten Citrus wants to know who he franchise tag. I think Byron Jones makes the most sense. The franchise tag for corner isn't wildly expensive at this point. I think you'll have worked out a deal with Amari Cooper by that point. You're not going to franchise tag Leo Collins. So if it's anybody, I think Byron Jones makes the most sense there as a franchise tag candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. From Lee Macho, who's more to credit the Cowboys' win-loss record since Garrett has been head coach? His coaching or the talent on the team each year? Well, I think the talent. I'd say in 90% of cases, the talent gets you as far as you're able to go. The difference in that 10% is how far you go nailing the playoffs. So I go with talent there. I don't want to discount Garrett, but talent tends to matter a little bit more, at least in my opinion, unless you're Bill Belichick. Patrick Brown, how good will Gallup be this year? I think he'll be pretty good. I think he'll be a number 2 receiver who has some big moments and is a little inconsistent in terms of his game-to-game production because that's just how the Cowboys run their offense. So I think he will take a step forward in year 2. Offensive-wise, I think Gallup is your most likely breakout player this upcoming year. Tony W., where's Coop ranked with top receivers? Jones, Hopkins, Thomas, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown. Is Cooper top 8? Yeah, I think he's in that range. I'm a big fan of Adam Thielen, which kind of might hurt your top 8 argument there. Devontae Adams also in that group, just top of my head. So he's in the top 10 range, top 8 range too. Just depends on how he plays this year, I think, is a big factor. Metal Baseball 42. What is the Tavon Austin situation? Because I love Pollard and Austin. Why not both? That's the situation. You need more speed on this team. Tavon can play inside and outside. You need more than one return guy. I say keep both of them. Pollard is a running back. Austin is a receiver. That's how the Cowboys plan to use these guys. So from that perspective, why not both? Andrew Garcia, who is one player that everyone sleeps on in Dallas? Oh, good question. Anthony Brown. There is a lot of fan base dislike for Anthony Brown because he's not named Jordan Lewis, but Anthony Brown was a good nickel corner last season. It's been a good problem to have for the Dallas Cowboys. And obviously I mentioned I like Jordan Lewis more, but Anthony Brown has proven himself worthy as being a top 3 corner on pretty much any NFL team. He's been worthy as a nickel. Healy3521. Who do you see getting cut from the roster, but would be a big surprise at the same time? Okay, let me think here. I don't see him getting cut, so I'll focus more on the surprise side. How about Malik Collins? What if Tristan Hill is really good right away and Tyron Crawford isn't suspended? It would be a surprise. I wouldn't like it, but I will go with Malik Collins on that one. Let me know what you guys think there in the comment section as well. Now, today's show is brought to you from our friends over at MyBookie. Head over to chatsports.com/Cowboys and use promo code GOCowboys for a 100% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $50 for free. Put down $100, you get $100 for free. And by the way, just bet against the Giants. You'll win all kinds of money. Bethis27, what do you think Jalen's price tag is now that Wagner got the bag? Wagner didn't get that much more than CJ Mosley, only $1 million per year. So for me, it doesn't alter it that much. Of all the players on this Cowboys team, though, that are up for contracts, I kind of think Jalen is going to be the most likely to take a team-friendly deal. If I can get him at $14 million, I do it in a heartbeat. If I can get him at $13, even $15 million, that would be a bit more of a team-friendly deal for Jaylon Smith. Adolfo Torres Jr., where do you believe our wide receiver group ranks in the NFL? If you exclude tight ends, which really helps you in this argument, by the way, probably around league average. I like Amari Cooper. Cobb has injury problems, though. There are a lot of number 4s and 5s in the depth chart, which is fine. That's the nature of it, but it's not as deep as other teams are. Gallup is a promising number 2, but it's still promising. He's not quite there yet. So I give it more of an average unit with the upside to be a little bit better. Lee Macho, if we pay Dak, he has his worst year next year, what happens? Everybody melts down. That's what happens. Everyone freaks out about it. Good news, I don't think you're going to have Dak Prescott have his worst year next year. Frankly, he's looked good in camp, which, historically speaking, has not been a strong suit for Dak Prescott. So that's good news, I think, for Dak. Jaden Cash Register, weird last name. Over under, Byron Jones has 5 interceptions this year. That's almost triple his career. So hammer the under. There's no way Byron gets 5 interceptions. That's just not who he is. He breaks passes up and doesn't let guys get open. Isn't an elite playmaker on the ball. All right, B-Dog, do we have the best linebacker core in the league? If you exclude pass rushers, yes, you do. I don't see a better linebacking core in the NFL. Find me a better trio than Sean Lee, Jaylon Smith, and Leighton Vander Esch. If you don't include guys like Von Miller, he's a pass rusher, not an edge rusher. I don't think there's a better group out there. I agree with you, B-Dog. It's the best group. Some shout-outs here now from those of you who DM me. I will get to the rewards later. They haven't even told me what it is yet, so just stay tuned. We got Brian, Isaac, Tim, Dominator, and Dominique Esto. So thank you all very much for those DMs. I will get back to you. They haven't told me what the reward is beyond just a normal show shout-out, so stay tuned for that. But Brian, Isaac, Tim, Dominator, and Dominique, thank you guys very much. Andrew Garcia, could Chris Richard make a defense like he did in Seattle? Well, I can't give Richard credit for that unit because he was like the last one to have it. Like other coaches built it up before him. But in terms of style, that is what Chris Richard is doing. He is targeting corners in particular that are long, lanky, and can run. That's the mold of a Seahawks cover 3 corner. Elijah Williams, you have to choose 2 people. Dak, Amari, and Zeke. Who do you choose? I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to go for it. It's easy. You choose Dak and Amari. This is going to be a debate, and this is not a hot take, by the way. But if I have to choose 2, and by the way, you don't, but if you have to, you take the quarterback and the receiver. Plain and simple. The Cowboys, if they lose Dak, they win 3 games. If they lose Amari Cooper, look how bad they were last year when they had Zeke. In today's NFL, you need a quarterback and you need Amari Cooper. Yes, Zeke is the best back in the NFL. But in today's NFL and the style of play, it has to be Dak and Amari Cooper. You just have to. All right, NFC East Hub here. How long do you think we can realistically have both Leighton and Jaylon Smith around? Long time. You can afford them both. Like there are people out there who are claiming that you can't re-sign Jaylon Smith now because of the salary cap. You just don't pay attention enough. And this is national media, by the way. You can do it all. You will be okay. The cap rises each and every single year. You can afford all of those players. All right, Moose, who always watches despite being a Giant fan. Thanks for letting us live rent-free there, buddy. What will the Cowboys' record be without Zeke and with Zeke? Without Zeke, I think it's with Zeke, I think it's still 10-6. Without Zeke, if it's an entire season, 8 or 7 wins. Like everyone wants to point to the Cowboys were 3-3 when they didn't have Zeke last time. Yeah, except they didn't have Tyron Smith for 2 games and went 3-1 in the other 4. So you definitely need Zeke to make the playoffs, but it wouldn't be a, wow, this Cowboys team is the worst ever. Like, they'd be okay, they just wouldn't be good enough, and that's why the timing for getting rid of Zeke doesn't make sense right now. You're better off finding a way to keep him if you want to win in 2019, which is what I want to do. Michael Andrews, do you see the Cowboys on D going 3-4 and getting D-Law and Greg on the field at the same time? Well, why do you have to go 3-4 to do that? You can just run a 4-3 scheme and put him at defensive end. So, no, Dallas is going to stick in a 4-3 scheme there. Lee Macho, is the Alfred Morris acquisition a sign the Cowboys don't trust in Zeke, or is it a power play? I don't think it's either. I think in the end here, it's the Cowboys needed some extra depth. I don't think it's a power move here by Dallas to say, okay, Zeke, we'll show you. We're going to sign Alfred Morris. Like, Zeke goes, okay. Doesn't mean anything. Cowboys wanted more depth. Morris had interest from the Saints. They pivoted to get somebody, and they picked somebody in particular that already knew the offense. That makes it easier right now. Noob Gamer, then I want to get to that last super chat here before we sign off. Should we get Jay Ajayi if we can't sign Zeke by week 1? If Zeke doesn't show up by August 6th, then I start having interest in Jay Ajayi. There are medical concerns there, but I am not going to be like, tell you what, week 1, we should probably sign Ajayi now. I actually do it earlier than that. That's my main key. Last one, a super chat. I am torn because I want to be nice. It's a super chat. Thank you, Austin. But Johnny Manziel sucks. He is not good at football. He doesn't care. He doesn't try. I'm done with the show now. We'll put it on loop. The answer you should never ever sign Johnny Manziel. He sucks at football. Doesn't care. There is no worse option of a cheap quarterback. But Austin, thank you very much for that super chat. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.